Alright, and we are live. Ready to go for Esoterra Session 0 for Krin. Alright, so Krin, as you know, you were from, let's see, your age is 22, so you are from Halen, if I'm mistaken, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So, in the area, well, that's zoomed in, not zoomed out. Alright, so in the area of Mount, there is a called Here we go. Called Halen, this kingdom right here. And in Halen is primarily elves. In fact, like 90% of the population are elves, but there are different kinds of elves, as you know, that the elves have been reunified a while back. Somewhere around 20 to 20 years ago. The king of the elves, the king of Halen, had made a decree to abolish the banishment of the Therian tribe, allowing for the Therian elves, or the elves who took on animalistic shape-shifting powers, allowing them to be reintegrated back into Halen. It's been an ongoing thing for a while that they would celebrate their reunification every year. So there's been a festival held in honor of that every year. For your sake, the festival is like not too close, but it's like it's coming up, you know. So there are people who are in need of materials for their crafts and for their decorations and for all that stuff. So they're in the process of preparing for the festival. And of course, that means more work for you because you are a rule gatherer. You have frequented the Rule Mountain to collect rule from the Rule Dragons there. Typically, you will know that the Rule Dragon Mount, what's called Mount Rule, is over here on the left. It's this this little icy mountain island over here. So, you'd know that this island is mostly just snow and ice and a mountain. There's not really much there except for the Rule Dragon. There's some on the mountain. There is unrow vines, and you know that rules will typically eat unrow vines. They'll eat the berries that are on the unrow vines. They'll eat themselves. So that's what they eat. Just their like 90% of their diet is the unrow vine. Now you like the elves mostly know better than to like mess too much with the ecosystems of nature. Um, I mean, aside from the terraforming that they do, like they create ecosystems with terraforming, and then they don't touch them. Like they make them good to sustain the animal life that they have there. And Mount Rule is no excuse, is no different. Mount Rule was a terraformed mountain. The reason why it's icy is because of the magic that the elves placed on it in the past. The actual entire island was terraformed by a king a long time ago, one of the old elven kings. Basically, you also know that in the past history, the elves used to have a tradition where the current king, like when a king was being coronated, they would receive an artifact, which was a crown, and that crown basically contained magic from all of the previous kings. And so the current king would have ridiculous amounts of magic. And so in order to like celebrate their entry into becoming king, they would then terraform. They would do one really great feat of terraforming and create something, or create a landscape, or they would completely change one thing. Um, so you'll know like the forest surrounding Denendel, where Denendel used to be, that entire forest was terraformed by a previous king. This ice mountain is no different. This desert island is no different. Like these little areas that seem to be like they don't necessarily belong naturally there. These places are places that were terraformed to be that way by some significant kings. All three of these islands were terraformed and made by a previous king. The Mount Rule Island was the first of the three islands that were made. This island to the left of it was made second, and the island to the right of it was made last. um, and you can see that they're kind of like increasing in size as they go because they get more powerful with each new succession. And then after those three islands was this forest. So, after the three islands was this ice peak, and then the forest. So there's been that tradition went on for a little while, but nowadays that crown is nowhere to be found, and that was a long time ago. And they have like new traditions now, but nonetheless, the Mount Rule that you are going to be heading to, your journey is that you travel from Oslohalen with a group, with a ship crew, and you walk over to where Janendel used to be, and you take a boat from this path to Mount Rule, or you can walk across the tree bridges. They've been terraformed, like these little brown lines that connect things. Those are like woven trees crafted into a bridge with terraforming that will create a bridge for you to get from one place to another. So you can either take a boat or you can take the boat. Most people will take the bridge. But in your specific case, you also have to remember you're going to be bringing supplies and things like that. So if you're taking the bridge, you're going to have to take some kind of wagon or something with you. Which a wagon on a tree bridge isn't too stable, but it has a risk of falling off.
Yeah.
But a boat would be much more stable. So a lot of the time, your ship crew, you have like a designated group of people who will take a boat over to Mount Roll. They'll use the tree bridges to get to that point, and then they'll take a boat from here to here. It's a very short boat ride, but yeah, that's why they take the. And then they take the wagon back. Because with the wagon, they'd only have to go across one bridge, which is this one up here. So the names of your crew aren't that important. I'll say that they change every time. It's just like a one-time job hire thing where like different people will fill that position every so often, every
True.
time you do the trip. So you never really see the same people. Like once they do it one time, they go to this icy place. They're like, yeah, freak that, I'm done with that. Like I'm not going there ever again. It's too cold. So you typically don't see the same person twice. So people in this job don't really care much to learn each other's names, and unless they like really get to know you. So you just kind of like go there, do your job, get out, go home. Very like business oriented. With that being said, before you depart from Los Angeles on your journey with your crew, are you going to want to do anything in Los Angeles first, or do you want to just off and job done?
Unless I can start out, unless I can maybe scout out for getting some prior supplies. Outside of that, no, I think I would be fine.
Okay. You do have. I will say you do have some gold right now. Some of this gold is going to be awarded to you after your session 0, but
Mhm.
we'll say right now you have. This is going to pay you. What did I do the math? I think I did it in my notes. Got my notes. There we go. But they need like 50 portions of gold. Yeah. So this is gonna pay you 5,000. So right now you have 14,900 gold.
Um, I don't think it's worth getting a weapon just yet, or looking to get myself any like equipment outside of like maybe uh better lantern or anything that I guess that my character would already have on him.
True. Based off of your background, I will award you with some inventory things. What? Press G. Okay. So we'll give you a lantern, well, soulstone lantern, but it'll just be like a little soulstone pebble. So it's not really enough to like use like solar magic with, but it is enough to like light up something, like light up
Yeah,
an area.
my character would probably have a quarterstaff they could probably use as a walking stick and like leverage.
Okay. Uh, it won't be viable for combat. It'll only be a walking stick.
Yeah.
I'll allow it. Then we'll say have um some rope. We'll give you 3 rope of an unspecified length. It's just a rope. So if it's reasonable for you to use a rope in that way, I'll be like, yeah, sure. If you be like, I want to lasso this rope to the other mountain across, I'm like, nah, yeah, it's not that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I'm not gonna bother with measuring a rope and measuring the distance of everything. The rope.
Yeah.
um, we'll say it's like a medium rope. Yeah. We'll say you have shears because you're gonna need that
Of course, yeah.
to get the rule. Um, you have 50 empty bags, and they're like the sackcloth bags, like a nice like the kind of bags that you like do that one kind of race in, like where you like have to jump in a bag.
Oh, the potato sacks.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
potato sack. Yeah, that's what it was. Empty. Empty. Um, we will give you some flint and firewood and no, not firewood, torches and torches. torches are more for heat than they are for light. Um, and then yeah, we'll put firewood because there's not really any trees. So you'll have 4 instances of firewood to make a fire with. And you'll have 4 flint. Um, and clearly, like you'll have like apparel suitable for an
Yeah.
hydro place. That's not gonna write that down. That's just work clothes. All right, yeah. So you are set. Did you want to go grab anything else, or did you
Um,
go with that?
at the top of my mind, probably not.
Okay. Um. So, before we proceed, I'll just anybody who is going to view this, I'll let you know that in the near future, pretty soon, I'm going to be reworking the spell crafting system for Esoterra. The magic system is going to be a little bit different. So in the near future, I'm already started in that process. So you'll see that this section here has been changed a little bit, but don't worry too much. I'll explain later. Anywho, let's proceed. So, I will indicate to you that your journey from Asahilan to the area where Denendel is pretty quiet and it's unbothered. You do hear some like rumblings happening in the forest, like in the distance, like in the way distance, but uh, there's nothing that you can really like. You don't have like none of you guys have the time to go and investigate it right now, but um, you have heard some rumors that things are getting a little weird in the Elderwood. Um, People are talking about like creatures that have been attacking, but they're talking about like the so the Elder Woods is known for being home to a lot of like mystical type creatures. Um, Very like large usually, and very magical. Usually these creatures are docile and very friendly, and are like looked up to and not necessarily worshipped, but are like highly regarded, with a lot of honor. Um, they're kind of seen as um like overseers of the forest, that kind of thing. And there have been reports that some people have said things that these creatures have been attacking people sometimes and have been like, it's just on occasion, not too often, but like sometimes something's going on. So like there's a little bit of weirdness going on in the woods, but it's at a distance from where you are, so you don't really need to worry too much about it. Um, so you pass through and you get to the part where you have the port. But prior to getting there, do you want to do anything along the way, or are you just going straight to work?
Unless the rest of my crew wanted to investigate or stop anything, I don't think my character would be uh, too occupied with like harassing people to try and sidetrack them from their gig, assuming everyone else wants to work.
Yeah, everyone else wants to work. Like they're curious just like everyone else, but they also know like we don't have really we're on a job right now. Like we don't have the time to afford going around and investigating through the woods when something can also be dangerous, and you know they're not equipped for that. So they're just gonna leave it to the adventurers to find out. Um, so everyone hops on a boat, and you take the boat ride over to Mount. So you arrive on this island. Um, I will. You're allowed to see the stream right now if you want to look at the map. That's fine. I'll let you know when to like click off of it.
Yeah, I mean, uh, okay.
Here we go. So you arrive at the southern point of this island in this area, and your crew, sets up a little like mini camp right here. Um, and they will set up like a campfire in like this spot. So there's people who are responsible for like guarding the boat basically, making sure nothing happens to the boat, making sure everything's tied down properly, and they're also like whenever you go out, you gather some wool and then you bring it to them, and then they load it up onto the boat. You don't have to load it onto the boat. You just gotta go grab the wool and bring it. So um, you're gonna have a group of people with you also who are gonna help you gathering the wool, so you don't have to carry 50 bags by yourself. Um, but yeah, there's a couple of people there. So you guys settle in. You know that there is a path. This path goes through the um, the mountain. It kind of like it goes up and loops around like in like a kind of like a spiral, but like a jagged spiral, a jank spiral.
Yeah.
And it goes all the way to the top where there's like a summit. um, it's like a clearing at the top of the mountain. Here. So this white area is like higher than this area. Um, the white area is like imagine if somebody took like a spoon and like scooped out the center part
Yeah. Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a divot. I get what
yeah.
you mean.
You know from experience that going this way, this is usually where um the smaller fool dragons will play. So they'll go there in this little. So you don't have to go all the way up the mountain. You just go up here. You'll know that the bigger ones, the adult ones, are like usually in this area, and then the babies or like the children will come down here, and the bigger ones will usually perch up on this ridge here, and like watch over the younger ones as they like play. And there's lots of unrow vines in this particular area.
Would I know the aggression or like behavior of them? Like, are am I not allowed to ill other infants? Do I have to be sleeping to harvest them or?
Yeah, no, you'll know that the adult rule dragons are they can get aggressive if they are provoked or if they feel that their children are endangered. But you also know that over the years, these adult rule dragons have pretty much grown accustomed to people coming to like interact with the younger ones, and they've experienced that people have not hurt their children, and usually like people have given them treats here and there, like so it's like they've kind of been like
Pseudo domesticated, like a
yeah, like kind of like squirrels at the city park. Like they're not necessarily entirely pet friendly, but they will come up to you and eat your food
yeah.
and,
If
and leave you alone. Um, so yeah, they're especially for those that like if it's you specifically, they're used to your scent because you've been doing this consistently. Right, so they're definitely not going to be aggressive towards you, as far as you know. Like there's 99% chance you're chilling.
yeah,
Uh, so you're not really too worried about it. And they seem to also like rule dragons in general are very friendly creatures in the first place. They're very like sociable and happy creatures. I wonder if I still have like the artwork of show it. I should. I'm pretty sure. Yep. So that's what a rule dragon looks like when they're small. Um, they grow into these massive, like ridiculously sized dragons, though. So like they start off small and cute, and then end up very like strong built dragons. But they are inclined with like a supportive magic. Like their magic type would be um like applying aid to like applying buffs to people and healing, that kind of stuff. So they're like a very supportive creature, which gives them the inclination to be like friendly towards other creatures. Um, the main reason why people don't have them as pets often is because they grow really big. So there's not really a space for them in a house when they get bigger. Um, like this rule dragon, it looks small in this picture because you don't have a size comparison, but you can imagine it being like the size of a horse.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then like they grow, like even in their adolescence, some of them can grow to the size of a moose. And then um when they get bigger, they're like full on dragons. So um you are now ready. Your crew is ready. You've set up your crew has set up the campfire. Um, you may proceed. I will put a you know what? I will share this document, but don't click on the icebound home.
Okay.
Um, so I will allow you. Did I give you edit permission?
You know.
No, I didn't. All right, refresh. I will give you an indicator. Let's say it is bright purple. No, we'll get a lighter. No, not that. Trying to find a color that's not purple. Red. This color.
Red? Okay.
Yeah, that's a good contrast.
Okay.
So you can kind of like use that to move. You can just like use that to indicate where you want to go.
I'll leave. Okay.
Yeah. And I'll let you move. Which is your speed is a 4. I'll let you move 4 spaces per round.
2, 3, 4. That would be the end of my turn then.
Okay. So things are pretty chill at this moment. It's literally chill because it's cold. And
Untended. Yeah.
grabbing my dice. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you're fine. The mountain seems kind of quiet. If you want to roll a perception check, I will allow so.
Sure. I have +4 for that. 4. I rolled a 19.
Great. So you are very confident that this, like for some reason, this day that you're on this island feels a little bit colder than normal. Um, you've noticed a kind of pattern that every time you revisit this place, it feels a little bit colder than the last time. But now it's like a lot colder than the first time. Right? It's like enough times have happened where like now every time you come here and like every year it just gets colder and colder, and you're like, okay, what gives? Like, this is like getting out of hand. Like it's so cold now. Like your gloves don't really feel like they're providing you with much comfort, which is fine. You just double up and you're fine. But like it's it's just you. It's like a small detail that you notice that it's a little colder than usual.
Yeah.
Okay, you may proceed.
Or
Okay. Um, to speed things along, I'll allow you to move up to 8 spaces per round until I revert you back to the 2 spaces.
you mean 4?
Yeah, I mean 4 spaces.
There. Let's see. Oh, that will be the end of my turn.
Okay. You're allowed to roll any checks that you want to roll along. After each turn, you can roll one check.
Yeah. Would I be able to get some berries? I just want to grab like like a nature check to see if I can find if there's any vines nearby, or
Yeah. Yeah, you can roll nature.
if I'd like to pocket some. Is a +0? That's a raw roll. Is a nat 20.
Okay. So you're gonna know that the the berries and on the unrow vines are typically gonna be along this path right here. So once you get to
Yeah.
there, you'll be able to harvest them. I'll count your nat 20 as like when you do go to harvest them.
Mhm.
I'll count it as 20. So go ahead, proceed.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, you are now along the path where the unrow vines grow. Use a healthy harvest of unrow berries, and you'll know that the unrow berry, because you're older than that 20, I will give you a little bit of information about these berries. Um, the unrow vine itself is a sturdy and dry vine, so it's not it kind of has like a texture like a cactus without the spikes, but in a vine like form. Like on the outside, like the inside is very dry though. So cactuses hold their moisture. Like imagine if a cactus was dried out, like a dry cactus.
Okay.
Um, then the berries that grow on this vine, um, and the vine itself are very good for absorbing poison. So if you are poisoned and you ingest the vine and or the berry, they're both edible. Um, it'll start like absorbing up that poison. Then it'll go through your system. You'll poop it out, and you'll be fine. So it acts as a really good anti-poison material. And they can definitely be used to brew like some really good anti-poison potions.
Yeah, I would just like to pocket a couple. I was mainly going to use most of them to feed uh the roll while I clip them, just to give them, like, oh, here's food,
Mm-hmm.
let me do my job.
So I will allow you to roll a D100 because you not feed, and whatever you roll will determine how many berries you picked along your entire path.
I rolled 58.
Okay, so you get 58 unrow berries. Unrow is spelled UNROW. Unrowberry 58. And if you want to make a note in your notes tab that unrow berries are good for absorbing poison, um, you can make that note. And are you taking unrow vine as well, or are you just taking the berries?
I would know unrow berries grow mainly in colder climates, right?
Yes. The unrow plant is a very like it likes the cold. It's a very
Hmm.
arctic kind of.
Um, I probably wouldn't specifically look out for any roots or vines unless it was like a decent chunk that was like with berries attached to it that I was just going to rip off and uh
Yeah,
feed to them. But
yeah.
I wouldn't like look out for any of them.
Okay,
Um,
it's good because a lot of the time you want to leave like the environment intact. You don't want to
yeah,
have too much because if you take too much of the unrow vine themselves, then you could end up damaging the food supply. Gold dragon.
yeah.
Um, so you make your way along.
4, 6, 7.
Okay, so you make it to the small little valley in like a little small clearing in the mountain pass, and this is typically where you'll see cruel dragons playing around and kind of tackling each other and rolling around the ground, eating berries, that kind of stuff. But you'll notice that there are no cruel dragons present.
Um, would I know like oh maybe they might be hibernating, or what I know is like this is like this is a weird anomaly.
It's just weird.
Um, can we roll another nature check to see like if the weather is getting severely worse? Maybe maybe they're not. Maybe they're hiding.
Yeah, you can roll.
Rolled a 15.
Okay. You're gonna know that it's definitely strange for these rule dragons to not be here during this time of day. They're typically here like every day, and right now it's just eerily quiet for no reason. Like you even look up to the mountain range up here, and you don't even see like the adult dragons perching. It's just barren. No, nothing is there.
Hmm. I would relay that to the party, and I would suggest that we go to the top.
You hear some grumblings and some people like, oh, really, we gotta go. Like they just want to get their stuff and get out. But they're like, yeah, I guess we gotta go to the top. Get it. We'll say your group is like a good 25 people. Um, for now, I'll allow you to move um a good like 30 spaces to move things along. Um, and you're allowed to roll any checks you wanted during your turn.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 28, 30. As I'm walking by, I'd probably just ask to make like a perception check to see if there's any like anything abnormal, like anything hiding, or why is it so eerily quiet?
Okay, so you can roll.
Perceptions with a +4. I rolled a 21.
Okay, so you'll know that you can perceive in your surroundings that there seems to be like the air also feels a little bit different. It doesn't feel like the normal like clear sky kind of air. So it does feel like there might be a storm coming. Like there might be some rain or some snow, or it, you're not quite sure how severe the storm might be, but you can tell that there could be potentially some connection between the weather and or the pending weather and the lack of playing from the rules. That is a
Um,
hypothesis. It might not be the sole purpose or it might not be the only reason, but
yeah.
it could factor in.
I would relay that to the party that an impending storm is coming.
Oh man, if there's a storm coming, we should probably get moving. Let's go, guys. Let's move it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 20. I feel like this year because I'm just gonna go back anyway. Um,
Yeah, it's been a good minute as y'all are checking up this mountain. It's not a big mountain, but it's not a small mountain. It's a decent sized mountain. So,
yeah.
and the fact that there's no path that goes just straight up to the summit, you have to spiral around the entire thing. It just makes the journey like that much longer. um, Previous people have complained, like because you this isn't the first time you've had to come up to the top, but previous people have complained and said that maybe people should like make like a, a path to connect these two paths. It's like kind of like you know, but
Yeah.
there people have like said not to do it simply like because they could terraform it and do it pretty easily, but they said not to do it because we don't want to like disturb the adult rule dragons because it's too dangerous to like mess with it. So there's kind of
You
like
still
we'll do that.
could you still like traverse over it, or is it like too like
It's very spiky and very icy. It's very like
Gotcha.
it's
Yeah.
not suitable for climbing. If somebody could fly, then sure. Yeah. But it's very like slippery. It's very dangerous to do that. It's not impossible. It's just very dangerous.
I guess I will make my way up to the summit then.
Yeah. Okay. So at the summit you see all of the rule dragons like huddled together in a big like dog pile type looking thing. Like they're all just kind of huddled in this big circle. Uh, the adult rule dragon has its wingspan. Like the adults have their wingspans like outstretched and wrapped around everybody. The babies are at the center. All the small rule dragons are like in the middle of this of the circle.
Can I look up at the sky and see like is it like the storm getting closer? Like, can I get a rough estimate to how soon it's gonna hit? Or
Yeah, you can tell that the storm is already hitting like this area of the mountain, and it is moving in the direction going this way. So it's like going from the east to the west, like covering like this, like this whole area,
oh,
basically. So you still probably got like a good hour, between an hour and 2 hours before the storm covers the entire island.
um, I could probably see if I could uh gather some rule and then maybe see if I can huddle in with them. I don't think I could. I think I might be like too impeding into their like huddle group to stay warm. I'd probably say like a few sessions of gathering and then probably head back and then wait for the storm and come back out.
You want to make any checks you're allowed to make?
Um, could I maybe try rolling animal handling mixed with handing out a few berries to see if I can, um, maybe try and relay like I want to also come in into the like the huddle group
Okay.
while we.
You can roll your animal handling at advantage because you have the grow berries. How many berries are you going to present to the group of roll dragon?
Probably probably 30.
Okay, so you get advantage and plus 30 to animal handling.
It's 30. First one's 33. Second one's 46.
Okay. Uh, they respond. The adults respond benevolently to you. They stretch out their wings even further and kind of scoop you up into the middle. And they don't take, the adults don't take the berries themselves. They pretty much pull you in,
Really?
it's signaling for you to give it to the children.
Okay. I'm assuming that the crew of like 24 people is also with me, or
Um, no,
is it just me?
just you.
Um. Okay. I could probably sit here and farm the children while uh
Yeah, you can
the
like
rest of the
toss.
people.
You can toss the stuff from the pile. Like you can kind of like throw it, and
Yeah, which is probably what I'll do.
but you're gonna have to do all the shearing.
But yeah.
So what I will do, so your goal, your quota is 50 portions of gruel. So you'll be paid 1,000 gold per portion. Oh, sorry, no, 100 gold per portion. um, which with 50, that leads you to a income of 5,000. So your goal, gather 50.
Okay. Is there a particular trick you want me to make to see how fast or how?
That would be animal handling.
Okay.
And what I'll do is you can roll a d. So you probably need to use like a either a bot or a generator, but like a D50. Right? So
Yeah.
maybe we'll just do a
I'm
D100 and like every 2 points is one.
okay. Well, I'm using the rolling chat, so I'm like
Oh, okay, yeah.
I
So
can use
then
it.
D50. I think D50 works, right?
Yes.
So uh, so,
38.
so 38. So right now you're well, it's just a D50 flat. So 36.
Oh, okay.
So right now you're targeting 36 portions of roll, and now you roll a D20 to see what percentage you get from your first haul.
You said D20.
Yeah.
D20.
Okay, so 5 divided by 20, that's 25%, equals 25.25 times 36. You gained 9 um, bags. So you subtract 9 of your bags and add 9 bags of roll to your inventory. Okay, and with every check that you make, um, we'll say like 15 minutes passes.
You said it'll be about an hour
Yeah, somewhere
for
between
the
an
storm
hour
hits.
and 2 hours. You're not 100% certain of the exact timing, but it's between an hour and 2 hours.
And how long did it take us to climb the island?
Uh, I'm just saying it's an hour to 2 hours from now. You got the same amount of time. It's fine.
Okay.
Um,
I'd,
go ahead.
I would probably. I'm gonna roll it down.
Okay, so roll the D100 first, or the D50. I'm sorry, roll the D50, and then
Sorry.
64 divided by 2 is 32. So we'll just take the higher one. 32 is fine. So
Okay.
you're targeting 32. Roll the D20. It's a 3. So divided by 20. That's 15%. Equals 15. 32. You gathered 5 additional um, bags of rule.
And I guess I'll roll again.
Okay. You can roll the D50. If you want to, you can also use your unrow berries. So whatever you roll for your D50, you can add +1 roll dragon for each berry that you use.
I'll probably give out probably 18 more.
Okay.
And leave myself 10.
So now you're targeting 29 plus 18. That's 47. Okay, and you got a 17. So 17 divided by 20 is 85%. Okay, you've gathered an extra 40 things of rule.
Yo, we made quota.
Those
I'm
berries
gonna
make a
say
difference.
say 50 because I can't hold on to anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you only have 50 bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you made your quota.
Yeah.
You can take, how much is left over after the bags are done?
How many did you say I got?
40. So you get like 4 left over. You can carry 4 pieces of rule, like not in a bag. So
Okay.
that's fine. If it was an insane amount, I'd be like, but it's fine.
Joe carry the 4 extra.
Yeah, you can carry the 4. Not gonna jip you out of something that you
I
don't
can't carry
understand.
it. I can't carry it. I have 8 strength. Joe can carry it. I'll pat one of the like baby ones, and I will signal my goodbye. I'll regroup with the crew.
Okay. They let you out, and things are pretty nice right now. You're doing good. That could have went different ways, but it went good. All right, so
Different ways in a bad way, or
yeah, it could have definitely went bad if you didn't succeed the animal handling checks and kind of stuff. Yeah, it would have been bad. But he's still dealing with dragons. 100%
Mhm.
safe. Low chance that it went bad, but it's a small chance. Okay. For your making your way down the mountain is a little bit faster than making your way up the mountain, so I will allow you to get to the base of the mountain.
where I was like, I really don't feel like counting.
Yeah, you could just pop. Um, and of course, as you get to the base of the mountain, the storm is definitely like covering this area now. So, like this area is all storm. Um, this is super cold, and you need to roll. I'm gonna make you roll survival to see if you can even navigate anything through blizzard. It is absolutely blizzardious.
I rolled an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, you lost. You can't even see your crew who are like not even 5 feet away from you. And like there's so much snow flowing around. People are like shouting, but you can barely hear them because of the howling winds. It's super cold. It's ridiculous. It's the worst storm you've ever been in your life. So, um, slowly but surely, as everyone's walking in different directions, your voices begin to like the small faint voices that you can hear over the howling winds grow more distant and become completely muffled by the sound of the blizzard. So now at this point you can look away from the sheep and you will need to roll a d4 so you can like close the spreadsheet, close the stream, because you don't have any sight as to where you're going.
I rolled a 3.
3. Okay. Okay, roll another d4.
A 1.
Okay, so you've made contact with the wall of the mountain again. You're not sure which side of the mountain you are on, but you are currently like touching the mountainside.
Okay. Could I aim in the opposite direction of the mountain?
You mean like you want
From where I'm
to?
touching.
Yeah, you could. So you want to like put your back to the mountain and then walk forward.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Um.
Or I can just probably roll the d4 again.
No, you're good. If you're going in a specific direction, good. Okay, so you've moved. It's still nothing but blizzard. Are you gonna go in the same direction, or are you gonna turn?
Probably just a d4.
You don't have to roll the d4. You can just tell me if you're gonna turn or if you're gonna go straight.
Oh. I'll just go left then.
Okay. As you get to this area, you feel like there's in the midst of this big, ridiculous storm, you can kind of in between, like, kind of like if you put your hands in front of your face and like wave them really fast, you can kind of like see through this blizzard a little bit, and there's like a small clearing, very small clearing of a space that's seems to be not like blurred with snow and ice.
Okay. I'll probably head in that direction then.
Okay. So, as you make it closer, you're back up against the mountain, but this time you see a cave entrance. Also, roll Constitution save.
I am not good at these. It's 11.
How much?
I rolled an 11.
Okay. You're cold, but you're fine.
Okay.
So, you're at this cave entrance. It seems like inside the cave is definitely a little bit warmer than outside right now. It's still cold in there, but it's not as cold.
Sure. Yeah. I'll probably head into the cave. Probably set down like some firewood near the opening and light it.
Okay. You're chilling inside the cave now. Grab this. So in the cave is you're in this little like clearing. There's a path that goes I'll say up, and a path that goes down. But you're also in this like rectangular shaped clearing.
I'll check to make sure my original clearing is clear, and then if I don't see the storm getting better anytime soon, I'll probably look to investigate uh, up top.
Okay. The storm is definitely not getting any better, but roll a perception.
13.
Okay. You can hear kind of like a tittering sound coming from outside. It's very, very quiet, but it's like it's you can hear the crunch of the snow, but it's a very light crunch. It doesn't sound like it's fully pressing its feet down into the snow. It's like kind of skittering across the top of the snow, and it's making its way towards the cave.
Then maybe make another perception check to see what it is, or like if it's like a human footprint and it's just quiet, or if it's like
Definitely
uh,
not human. It's a type of. It sounds like it has more than two legs.
I'll probably I'll head up then. Head up
Okay.
the upwards path.
Oh.
Stealthily, sorry. I should say stealthily.
Okay. Roll your stealth check.
-1.
Yeah, I also nat 20'd on this thing's perception check, so it it definitely knows that you're there. um well, uh I'll let you walk 4 spaces up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this creature enter the cave. as it enters the cave, you are able to see it, and you can see it very clearly. This is what you are looking at when you see. I'll send it to you. And as it enters, it kind of like it uses its arms to like grab hold of the two sides of the cave entrance as it like lowers itself into the cave, and then it sees you. Its little thingies by its face kind of like wiggle around, and it makes a insectoid like screeching sound and begins to make its way towards you. If
Can I
you,
look at?
huh?
What are you gonna say?
Go ahead.
Finish.
No, you said, can I?
Oh, I was gonna look to see if I can see what the top of the clearing is.
What the top
Like
of the what is?
the upper path. See what's up there.
Oh, and okay, so you're going up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you want to roll any checks, you are more than welcome to roll checks along the way. So, um, I do not advise that you attempt to fight this. Um, before we proceed, I do want you to make one specific check. You to roll, history. Well, you can either roll history or survival or religion.
Rolling religion because that is the better roll. 7. Jesus.
Yeah, you have no idea what this is. But yeah, proceed. We're now entering turn-based stuff, so we're gonna roll initiative.
Initiative. I rolled a 0.
That's okay because this thing rolled a nat 1. So, um, somehow it rolled less than you. um, so because this thing nat 1, it will lose its first turn. That's the rules of nat failing on your initiative check. Which means you get an extra turn to just move and to do a check. Now this is going to be a full-on like combat experience. So you have 4 action points. You are allowed to take a movement action up to 2 times per turn. Moving 2 times would count as a dash. It costs 1 action point per movement action. Now, you know, ask it. I'll say you can move as many times as you want. Each movement action costs 1 action point, and moving more than 1 time in a row would count as dashing. In addition, each ability check or each skill check that you want to make is 1 action point. So every time it's your turn, you will generate 4 action points. So this is your bonus turn. You are allowed to make a move or take an action.
Okay. I'm still heading the upward path, correct?
Yeah.
I'll probably keep heading. I'll probably use one, either 1, 2, or 3 movements, depending if I see the clearing at the top of it. Like if I reach the end of the top part. So I'll use my 4 movement. I'll use my 4 movement for my 1 action point. If that doesn't reach the top, I'll use 2, or then I'll use 3.
Okay, I see. So your first move in action is going up. I should say like instead of up, it's like north. I mean, your character won't necessarily know that you're facing north, but for us as players, and like
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you're going north. You go up, and you end up at a part where the cave turns, and the cave turns left.
I will drop down one of my torches, and then I will not lit. Drop one of my torches, and then use my another 4 movement to take the left.
Okay, so make sure you're subtracting your action point.
Yep, I'm at 2 at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, you are able to see that you've hit another wall where it turns. So this time it turns, going to the right.
I will drop down another torch, and then I will spend another 4 points to move to the right. So I'm at 1 action point.
Okay.
What do I see now?
Um, there's so the path kind of turns diagonally northeast, and then that path splits into 3 paths: left, straight, or right.
Um, okay. I would probably use my 4 points to head to the right one, while again at the intersection, dropping a torch. I'm doing this so I don't get lost in the cave.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4. So that's. But yeah, your next movement is to get to the intersection.
Yep.
And place the torch. Okay. And so is that all of your action points? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's all your action points. So you can't move. You're at the intersection right now. So this would typically be where the creature's turn is, but it not one, so it loses its first turn. Therefore, you get an extra turn now. So your turn begins again. You get 4 extra action points.
We will spend 1 action point to move 4 spaces into the right corridor.
Okay, you get to the area. You can see down the corridor if you roll a perception check.
That is a 16.
Okay, so you can see that this path that goes down to the right of this intersection is a dead end. There's nothing there.
Okay. Did that cost 1 action point?
To do a perception check, yes.
Okay. I'll move one movement to move back to the intersection, and then I'll go down the middle one.
Okay, if you want to roll you're at the entrance to the middle one, so if you want to roll a perception check to see down the corridor, you are able to do.
21.
Okay, you can see that the middle one is also a dead end.
Darn.
Okay. Do you have any of all your action points? All right. So it is now the creature's turn. The creature will 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. This creature is following your trail. It sees the torch, the first torch that you placed down, and you can hear it in the distance as it like crashes into it, basically. So your torch seems to like the light source from that torch goes out.
I stated in the beginning I wasn't lighting it. I was just dropping them on the floor.
Oh, you're just dropping on the floor. Okay, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't do that. It just kind of
Okay.
like it's there. You can tell by the sound of its feet. It is at where you left the first torch. And now it's gonna take another action to move then since it didn't have to break that. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like I said, I'm just dropping like breadcrumbs.
Okay. It is slightly past the second torch.
Okay.
It is now your turn.
I will spend 1 point to move into the left corridor.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You can probably tell that if you don't continue moving, it'll probably catch up to you.
Can I tell if it's a dead end for the left one or?
If you roll a perception check.
20 plus 4, 19.
There seems to be a path this way.
Okay. I will spend another point moving 4 more spaces.
Okay.
And then probably my last space movement to move another space.
So you kind of like there's like a not necessarily an entirely narrow, but it's like a one person width space that you can kind of pass through in the spot where you're at. Okay. Is that all of your action points?
Yes.
Okay. Creature's turn. It is going to let out a blood curdling screech, an insectoid screech of its own. You're gonna roll a charisma saving throw.
20, 19.
Okay. You are unwavered.
Also, I accidentally rolled 3 rolls in the general chat by accident.
That's alright. So it is now going to take its next action to move. Move here. And then it's going to make a perception check. Roll stealth. Wait, what's your passive stealth? Because you didn't roll.
8.
Passive stealth is an 8. Okay, so it definitely knows what direction you went. 2, 3. It has one more. So it's gonna let out its blood curdling screech again. So roll another charisma save.
Not 20.
Okay, you're chilling. You're like, I'm not worried about this guy. But yeah, it is now your turn. You may generate your 4 action points.
I am spending all 4 of my points running.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You are now at this part where it seems like there's a dead end, but there is like a super narrow like crack in the ice wall that you could potentially squeeze through. But you're gonna tell that it's considered difficult terrain. So whenever you do take your next movement to go through this, it will take you 4 units of movement to get through this.
Can I tell if the monster can get through it, or?
it does not appear that that monster should be able to get through this unless it breaks somehow. Right, like
Okay.
it's so skinny. Like this creature should not be able to fit through this tiny.
Could I tell if the path divvies or change narrows off into a corridor anywhere like on my path?
What do you mean?
Like, can I see if there's like as I'm running down this corridor, reaching this like narrow hallway? Could I tell if it like if there's like
Like an opening
an
at the
out
other end?
not like an opening at the other end. If there's like a hallway, if there's like a corridor opening up to another side, like the left or the right of me as I'm running straight.
Oh no, that's the only way. Like this
Okay.
portal that you're in, it only leads to this crack in the ice.
Okay.
Uh,
I was trying to see if I could throw another torch somewhere else to lead it in a different direction, but if
oh,
not,
I
then I'll
see, I
just
see.
shoot.
Give me one moment. You know. Okay, we are back. All right, so it is the creature's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this creature is literally 3 spaces away from you. And when he sees you again, he's going to let out another scream. So go ahead and roll a charisma saving throw.
A 9.
Okay, well, you are now afflicted with a status ailment. So you are now afflicted with the ailment of my ailment. Here it is. Roll. Okay, you are now afflicted with afraid level 7.
And what does afraid do?
Subtract an amount equal to the level of afraid afflicted to attack rolls and ability checks, while the source of afraid is within line of sight. You cannot move to a unit within range of the source equal to the level of the afraid afflicted. So you can't move within 7 units of the creature or stay in a space within 7 units of the creature. Um, um, on your own accord. But if you're unable to not like if you can't end your turn in a space outside of a range of 7 units of this creature, then you will add 7 points to your stress meter at the end of your turn.
Okay.
Okay. So you are now afraid level 7, and that is the end of this creature's turn. He is right there.
Yeah, I kind of can't outrun him. I guess I'll run into the hall, the small corridor.
Um. Okay. So go ahead and roll a dexterity check, and remember to -7 from your dex check.
D20 minus 9.
Oof.
A -7.
A -7.
I
Okay, so you managed to get a little bit of the way through. You can every time you can take 1 action point to make another dex check to get through.
Okay.
What's that?
Okay, I guess I'll roll again.
Yep.
I kind of can't do anything here. 4.
4. Okay. All right. You're a little stuck in this spot. You didn't make any move there, but go ahead and move again.
Another 9.
Still 9. Okay. You made 2 movements there, so you're almost out the other end. So go ahead and roll one more time.
-5.
Okay, so you're at the very end of this like narrow crack. You're still in the crack, but you're like at the end of it. You're almost out the other side. This creature, it's his turn. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you're outside of the range, so you're fine. Until the end of your next turn, because he's gonna move closer. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you should be fine because you should be able to move out for that. But he is now like at the entrance of the crack in the wall, and he's gonna reach a claw through the crack, trying to grab you. So let's see if he can. He does not. he does not reach you. Try a second time. Nope. He fails that again. So he is going to, because he can't reach you, he's going to throw out another blood curdling reach. So roll a charisma saving throw. And that's fine. Like your saving throws are not affected by fear.
11.
You're fine. So it is now your move. You generate 4 action points. You may use 1 action point to make a dex check to continue proceeding through the crack.
A 2.
Okay, yeah, you make it.
I'll use.
You are now able to move freely. The path, it can go left. Oh, sorry, it can go right or left. What's that?
I guess.
Which direction?
Could I see a perception check to see which way would be a dead end, or do I just have to?
Yeah, you can make a perception check if you have an action for it.
Yeah, that's with a -7, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 3 action points. Making a perception check. Good.
A 7.
Okay. You can tell that the path that goes right is a dead end.
Okay, I'll spend 2 action points to move 8 spaces to the left.
Okay. You seem to be at a decent distance away from the creature. Go ahead and roll a charisma check.
$16.
Okay. Your heart has been like, as the last moment of that interaction where the creature almost grabbed hold of you, your heart is racing, it's pumping, but you can tell that the creature is not able to like reach you now, so your nerves are kind of calming down a little bit. And so we're gonna reduce your level of fear, and it's gonna be cut in half. So you're gonna go down to round it down, so 3. You're now afflicted with only afraid level 3 instead, and you're kind of like catching your breath. Your heartbeat is kind of slowing down again. You're like, okay, I'm good. The creature seems to also go away, so it doesn't try to pursue you through this crack. You are outside of the combat. Combat has ended. You've exited its aggro range.
Yeah, sure. I'd probably just keep walking down the narrow path.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm gonna just tell you like directions now, and you can tell me which way you want to go. There's a dead end to your left, and there's a path to your right.
I'll probably make perception checks like down the hallways at dead ends to see if there's anything there. If I
Yeah.
don't see anything at first,
For this one in particular, it's a short one, so you can tell it's a dead end without, which is from your passive perception.
Yeah. And I'll continue the path.
Okay, you are now arriving at another split. There is a path that goes to your right and a path that goes to your left. You can roll a perception check if you want to see.
19.
Okay. The path to your right is a dead end.
Left.
Okay, you reach a split in the cavern. There is a path that there's two paths that go straight forward. The path that's on the left side that goes straight also has another path that goes left.
I guess I'll place a torch and I'll probably roll a perception check to see if anything were dead ends.
Okay.
11.
You're unable to determine if they are dead ends.
What were the options again?
There is two paths that go straight and one path that goes left. The two paths that go straight, there's one that's on the left side and one that's on the right side that both go straight. And then the path that's on the left side has another path connected to it that goes left from
I'll probably do the middle option.
it. Okay. So the path that goes straight, that's on the left side. Okay, you enter this this area, and it's kind of like a den inside the cave. This this part though is exceptionally cold and is even icier than normal. The ground is a little bit slipperier, and it's like it's much more icely coated rather than your traditional paved floor.
Is there anything in particular in the room, or is it just exceptionally cold?
You can roll either perception or investigation or survival.
7.
Okay. You are.
Pass being 14.
What's that?
It's pass perception being 14.
Yeah. You are able to tell that the deeper you get into this like room, essentially this like den, the colder it gets. And it's not a very deep. It's pretty It's about the same size as that rectangular area that you were in the entrance of the cave. Um, but something is a little bit off about this room because of the presence of this ice. It doesn't seem naturally there. That's all you'll know.
I guess I'll just roll another perception check. See, like, uh, what's in the room? Like, why? Like, if there's a source or why it's making it. What's these ice all about?
Mm-hmm.
11.
um,
I am moving into the room.
yeah. So roll a dexterity save for me. What was that?
12.
12. Okay. You are going to slip, and you're gonna fall, and it's gonna slide you across that. You're not gonna like hurt yourself because you didn't roll that low. Um, but you're not able to like comfortably walk across this ice, and so you kind of like slide across the ice. But because of that, it actually can causes you to move a little bit further than you normally would be. So yeah, actually, it kind of failed, but successfully. um, but as you slide across the ice, you end up hitting the wall of the corner of this cave. Because what happens is that you're gonna notice that the corner of this cave is kind of like lower, and so it's a slight decline towards the end of the room. Um, and as you crash into the corner, you seem to displace a bit of the ice. Some of it cracks, and you displace some of the terrain in the corner, and it ends up kind of creating this strange cyan colored aura, like this glow, kind of emanates from the corner that you just crashed into.
Um, is the trunk itself is the piece that fell on the floor that's glowing, or is it the wall that's glowing?
There's like like you've created like imagine if you were standing on a frozen lake, and then the ice cracks, right? So that it's not completely broken; it's just cracked. So like
Oh,
the
gotcha.
ice on the wall is cracked, and there's like this glowing effect coming through the crack.
I'm probably gonna uh reach my hand out, maybe and like investigate it, or if this would be like an Arcana check, or
You can roll whatever you want to roll.
I'll reach my hand out and roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
23.
So you can identify this aura as being a it's akin to your soul stone. The type of magic is akin to that. So it's as what your Haven elven brain would know, this is like what's considered dragonic arts magic. Um and it is of the ice subtype. And it does seem like not only does um this magic that's coming from this source seem to be causing the ice in the surrounding area, but it also seems to be causing the temperature of the entire island to be decreasing gradually. So this is the source that problem is.
Um, I'll probably reach out and try and grab it or touch it.
Okay. Uh, so go ahead and roll a Constitution save.
A 1. No, no, not 1.
That's so funny. I rolled the same. Um, so you would know that you should feel super cold right now. Like you should feel like you're frozen from the inside out. But you don't. All of a sudden, like you feel indifferent to the temperature around you. It seems like you've kind of reached this state of agreement between you and this magical force. And it's just like in a state of non effect. Almost like this magical force is like deciding to exclude you from the problems it's causing the rest of the island.
Uh, I would probably loosen up and like like not like loosen up like kind of like lower my arms and like I'm not cold. I'm not like you know
Yeah.
um I would probably touch the crack, or like if there's a chunk missing, I'd probably reach out and grab it.
Okay. And roll a willpower saving throw.
Mm, I'm good at these. 25. I was not 20.
Okay. Um, everything seems to be fine. You reach out. You end up feeling the It's kind of like glassy, like almost texture. Uh, some kind of crystal on the inside of this wall.
I guess I will grab uh my shears. I really don't have like an ice pick.
True.
Weirdly enough, I feel like an ice pick would have been crucial for my 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 ice expeditions.
True. Make a note for next time.
Yeah,
Bring ice
I
pick.
guess I'll use shears and kind of like see if I can chisel away at it.
So,
Not like not at the crystal, but at the ice
right around
and
the
on the
crystal.
crystal.
I got you. I will allow you to roll. This would be. I'm assuming it's sleight of hand, to be honest, because it's like you'd have to be precise. You could either do sleight of hand or accuracy, I guess.
Both are negative too. Um.
But I've rolled so many ones this session.
Uh, uh, I rolled a nat one, -1.
That's okay. So did I. so, doesn't, so it's like a stalemate. Like it doesn't seem like the shears are quite doing the job.
Um.
In fact, the ice around the crystals seems to grow a little bit thicker instead of thinning.
I guess I will continue to put my hand on the glass, or let me go see the ice, investigate it, see if it will. Because I now realize that it's proactive, it's responsive. So I'm gonna like
Mm-hmm.
put my hand up to it and like put my shoes in my bag.
So, you can roll a willpower saving throw.
A 20, not natural.
Okay. Suddenly, all you see. Normally, when people like white out, they just see nothing but white and they like go unconscious, right? But like you like blue out. You just see nothing but icy blue.
Yeah.
It's like a flash of like you got flashbanged by ice basically. It's just this that same cyanic color is just all you see now, and you are rendered completely unconscious. You are fully incapacitated. Your fear is gone, but the afraid ailment is gone. But you are now incapacitated. So what now you're going to do is I want you to roll a series of um, we'll say death saves, but if you fail them, you're not dead. It's just that you have to keep making these saves until you succeed.
Yeah.
And this will
Death
determine,
saves.
yeah, this will determine how long you've been. The death saves are like Constitution saves, basically.
So, d20 minus 2 then.
Yep.
5.
That is a fail.
Uh, that one, I'd be dead right there.
And that's 2 extra fails.
Uh, 6, a 4, that's a fail.
Wait,
A 12.
okay, that's 1 succeed. Going.
And that 20. But it rolls down to an 18.
But that 20 is fine. That 20 counts as 2 successes. So you now have your 3 successes. It took you 7. Or sorry, it took you. That was. It took you 5 attempts to do it, which means that you were unconscious for 5 months. But congratulations, you're awake.
Ooh. Um, I guess my first instinct would be to panic, and as you wake up, from being erratically put to sleep, I would, I guess, look around at the wall and see if it's still glowing. Like, is the area still like covered in this artificial ice? Like, what's going
No,
on
it
with me?
seems like the ice has melted. It is now um, just completely different from what it was before.
Back to like organic ice.
There's no ice. Like the inside, like the especially the ground where you were walking, it was slippery before. It is no longer icy ground. It is just regular cave ground.
Regular stone. Okay. Um, I guess I will examine myself to see if I'm like, uh, if I'm bleeding, if like what's going on. Am I hungry?
Uh, you are pretty hungry, but you also feel fine. Like you don't feel like you've been unconscious for 5 months, but you also don't know how long you've been unconscious unless you roll like I guess insight. I guess I don't really think that there's a way for you to tell how long you've been unconscious until you leave. I mean, if you nat 20 on
Yes.
it.
Uh, I would probably just examine my body to make sure I'm completely okay, and then I guess just gather my things.
um, from what you can tell, from what you can see, you look fine. You have no worries, nothing new.
Okay. I guess I will uh, grab all my things, and I guess I'll start heading out of the cave then.
But how thorough would you say you would have examined yourself?
Like, check my hands, check my legs, uh, my face, if I have any, like, wounds, like,
Yeah. Well, how would you check your face?
touching it, I guess.
Okay. You'll know that the left side of your face feels a little harder than it's supposed to. like the skin. It feels it doesn't hurt. It just feels different than what you're used to.
I will keep note of that. I don't think I have anything to check it out, so I guess I will keep a mental note of that, and I will uh start making my way out of the cave then.
Okay. I'm gonna allow you to retrieve your torches along the way,
Yep.
and because you laid down the torches, you don't have to really navigate too much. You just end up back where you were. There's no sign of that creature in the cave as you make. So you're.
Is it? Is it still? Is there like ice anywhere? You know, is there?
I mean, there's still ice, but
Yeah.
it's not like it was before.
Okay.
Um, and you feel like warm, like you uncomfortably warm, and so I'm assuming you like take off your jacket, put it in your bag, and it makes you feel better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'd probably take off my like. I would have probably like a hoodie and like the clothing would be like a hoodie, and then on top of my actual jacket.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so I'd probably take off my
jacket.
jacket.
So you exit the cave, and you are now back outside in that role. You're allowed to uh, reopen the streaming. But you're back outside. There is no sign of any boats or anything here. Uh, it seems like the crew has left you behind, and the the campfire like isn't there. The storm is gone. The storm is gone, but you're up here at this cave entrance.
Okay.
Um, but you are approached by a small real dragon. Put a real dragon. Boom. Make a real dragon shows up. Like he like kind of pops down from the ledge and like comes to approach you. And you can tell that this is one of the real dragons that you fed before, but it
Mhm.
seems um a bit bigger than what it was when you first fed it. Like you could tell, you could definitely tell it's definitely one of the ones that you fed before. I'll say it has like a specific marking that you recognize.
Here's a chip deer that I got from playing.
Yeah,
From
something like that.
riff around.
And he's decently aged. Um, not like crazy. 5 months worth of growth in an animal.
I mean, I mean, for like an adolescent, that'd be it's major.
Yeah, it's big.
Um.
But
Oh, it.
you can kind of see that it's like its rule is getting thinner because as the life cycle of the rule dragon is that as it gets older, it like sheds its rule, and the adults don't have rule anymore. They just have scales, and they sprout wings. So you can see that the rule is thinning, and it's got like little nub wings like sprouting from out, like poking out of the its back out of the rule.
Aw,
And he's like sniffing around your hands looking for berries.
I would reach into my bag and hand them one.
He'll take the berry and he'll like sit down next to you, and then he'll look up at you, and he'll have like a little um kind of like a turquoise-ish shimmer to him, and you'll feel a little bit better. Like you feel healthier. You feel nice.
Aw. It looks like you've grown.
It makes like
He would
a It's like a yeah sound.
I want to take it with me, but I don't think I can, so it's fine. It's adorable. I'll come back for you. Don't worry.
I mean, you could theoretically if you have a high enough
I have a +2. I have 9 berries.
hand.
I can pull an arc and knock him unconscious, and then feed it berries like 20 million berries.
You're like Pokemon, beat it up.
Yeah. Um. I mean, I'm not like walking away from it, but I'm not like running away from it, but I will be like I will get up and start like walking around if it's like following me. Like I'll continue to pet it. I'm not like grabbing it by its neck, by its like scruff or anything.
Yeah, it'll watch you as you walk. It's sitting down, so like it's watching you as you walk, and like as you get a certain distance, it'll start getting up and start following after you.
I will uh if it's keen on following me, I will give it another berry and pet it some more.
Okay, roll animal handle. +1 for your berry, or for each berry you give it.
I'll give it like 3, I guess. So 15.
Right. Um. It it takes the berry, but it doesn't seem to like. How do you say?
Yeah, attached.
Yeah, it's not like it's not super attached yet.
Yeah. Um, I might as well like give them the rest of my berries and pet them some more because I don't think if I want to come back, I'm not gonna, if I have 6 on me, I might as well just come back and collect more.
Right.
If I want to gather more. Oof, my friends are here.
We're almost done.
Yeah.
So, you leave the road dragon behind.
I'll do one more behind check and give them the rest of my berries.
Okay.
It'll be 20 plus 8. 23.
Okay. Now the road dragon is keenly interested in following you. Now, the way that I work taming creatures is that just like how you have friendship levels with NPCs and with the other party members, you will have a friendship level with the creatures that you tamed. Um, Combat is not unlocked for creatures until you reach a specific level that's determined by the creature type. So a rule dragon's combat usefulness is unlocked when you gain level 1 friend. So while you've tamed the creature, it is nothing more than a pet to you until you like trained it.
That's completely fine.
Yeah. And it might, on its own accord, it might still do things that can contribute to helping in combat sometimes, but it's not something that you can like command it or rely on.
I will nickname him Chip for now because he's a chip deer.
Okay. Um.
Uh,
Okay.
I guess I'll probably end up heading towards the bridge because I'm assuming the boat is not there.
Correct. The boat is not there. There is a bridge though. Uh,
I hope I don't like perpetually piss off the parent by taking the kid away.
no, they're comfortable with you. It's a different color.
a nasty green.
It's a brown.
Or brown, sorry. That's a worse color.
I'll worry about the color later. Get the bridge. And yeah, you're able to exit the mount roll and make it back to the land. The roll dragon does follow you, and you come through the Elder Woods. You pass through where Denendel used to be. And I'm assuming you're making your way back to Las Halen.
Yeah.
So, your journey through the Elder Woods and on the way to Las Halen is relatively uneventful. It is pretty quiet, aside from the rumblings that you still hear through the jungle, through the woods. But that's on like the far distance. So you make it to the entrance of Las Halen, the kingdom of the elves, and there's no signs of any festival decorations, nothing that. It's the festival is already long over, but you kind of see like the seasons. Like you can tell from your walk through the woods, the season has definitely. You are now like in the summer, kind of mid-year, kind of vibe, and yeah, you arrive, and that will be where your session ends for your first part of your session 0. Your second part of session 0 will be scheduled next time. That will deal with you returning to civilization and proceeding with other ventures.
Yeah. I should be free next Thursday, or probably either Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, we'll schedule that later. I'm gonna end the stream. Oh.